This happened. My niece repeated her dad's slur about me, and family flipped when I set a boundary. I'm 29 and work from home with loose hours, so for the last year, I've been the one doing daycare runs. My wife works full-time in an office. My sister Barb and her husband Nick work full-time too, and they live close. They have a 5-year-old, Tracy, who goes to the same daycare as my boys, 5 and 3. We made a simple plan. I'd drop off and pick up all 3 kids, bring them to my house, give snacks, start dinner, and Barb would swing by after work. The kids loved being together. Tracy called me the fun uncle. 3 days ago, I set the kids on the couch with Bluey while I sliced apples and put crackers on plates. Then I heard shouting. I walked in and saw my son red in the face, yelling, "My dad's not a girl!" Tracy yelled back, "He is! He's a—" and used a slur for gay men. The word hit me like a shove. I had never heard it in my house before. I grabbed the remote and turned off the TV. I sat on the ottoman and told Tracy we don't use that word in our family. I said it's mean, and it hurts people, and I'm not a girl. I told her to apologize because we don't call names in this house. She crossed her arms and said she wouldn't get in trouble because her dad says it, and he's not in trouble. I told her even if an adult said it, it's still wrong, and she can't use it with me or anyone. She looked down and said sorry in a small voice. I thanked her and told both kids to sit tight while I finished snacks. While we ate, I asked simple questions. Had she heard other things like that? She nodded and said her dad told her mom that men shouldn't sit at home all day, and that cooking and cleaning are women's jobs. She said her dad told her I'm not a real man because I cook and watch kids, and my wife makes more money. I kept my voice even and told them men and women can both work from home or in office. I said jobs don't make you more or less of a man or woman. I didn't push more. She's 5. Barb came later and picked Tracy up like normal. That night I told my wife. She went quiet, then angry. She said it felt like someone spit in our kitchen. I told her I wanted an apology from Barb and Nick for the slur and for trashing me in front of a child who sits at my table. She said I should ask for it and not back down. I called Barb. I told her what Tracy said and what I heard about Nick's comments. Barb sighed and told me it was just a word and Nick was joking and I was blowing it up. I said I don't care if he likes me or not. He's putting that word in his kid's mouth and she used it on me in my living room. I said I expect an apology. Barb told me to stop being dramatic. I said if that's how she felt, she could handle her own daycare runs. She swore at me. I hung up. The weekend came. No call, no text. I kept checking my phone and then got mad that I was checking. Monday morning, I dropped my boys at daycare and left Tracy's spot empty in the back seat. When Barb finally called near lunch, I let it buzz, then picked up. She started yelling that I made her late and I was unreliable. I said I told you Friday I won't be picking her up. You had 2 days to make a plan. She yelled more. I hung up again and stopped replying. That afternoon, I walked into daycare for pickup and Tracy ran to me like always. She grabbed my hand and asked if we were going to my house. My stomach dropped. I knelt and told her I was fighting with her mom and I can't take her today. I said grandma or mom would get her instead. She teared up and asked what she did. I said she did nothing wrong. I took my boys and walked out. An hour later, my mom called. Barb had asked her to pick up Tracy. My mom is disabled and was struggling with the car seat and the drop-off line. She asked me why I was being mean to Barb. I told her everything. She said, "You know how Nick is. Don't let it get to you." I said the more I learn how Nick is, the less I want to do free childcare for him. I said all I asked for was a simple apology. She told me to be the bigger man. I told her I was done arguing. That evening, Nick called. I answered in case he was ready to do the right thing. He said my choices were hurting Barb and we're family. I asked why family talk about me like that in front of a child I care for every day. He said he was joking. I said it wasn't funny in my house. He snapped and used the same slur again and called me a hysterical little girl. My hands shook. I told him I'm done and I want respect in my home. I hung up. I texted Barb that unless the next message was a real apology from both of them, I would block her and stop all pickups. The messages kept coming, but none were an apology. I blocked her. In the morning, I walked into daycare. Tracy ran toward me, then slowed when she saw my face. I crouched and told her grandma would pick her up today. I told her again it wasn't her fault. She nodded and wiped her cheeks. I stood, told the teacher the plan, and walked my boys to the car. Now my sister is saying I'm ruining her job by drawing a boundary. Was I wrong?